What are some winning strategies for SimCity 2000? Was Star Trek The Next Generation big in 1994? Hi, I'm Nick, and this is Required Reading on Retro Games with Nick. In today's episode, we are continuing our run through of the old computer gaming world issues with the April 1994 issue, which is number 117. This is the cover. As you can see, we have Star Trek The Next Generation featured prominently. Quests of Glory is another name that I recognize. These other three don't really ring a bell. Strategies for SimCity 2000, of course, something that really probably sold the magazine at the time, which sold for $4. Okay, let's see. This looks like a pretty bad RPG. Disciples of Steel, not really interested. This is Aces Over Europe, Flying Sim, not interested. Someone out there wants to destroy you. Bet on it. Battledrome Metal Tech. Yes. Okay. So this is the summary. Epic Pinball. You can buy either of them for $29 plus $4 shipping and handling, or both for $45. Where's the Gamers Liberation Movement? Oh, this sounds cringe just to read it. My nephews and nieces love those Nintendo games. You must have children too. Well, this at least we got. We're definitely not ashamed of our hobby anymore, and everybody games. Though I would argue that after a certain age, if you're really into game as your main hobby, as is my case, there's still a bit of judgment that comes from society. Like, as my generation, I'm a millennial, as my generation is slowly taking over the workforce, mostly because of our ages, it's starting to become less and less of a stigma. But there's definitely something where you kind of just feel a bit awkward about being the guy that does games. But don't go and just bullshit with studies about how games are better for you and all. Like, games are for anyone who is still learning and becoming. Games are exploratory learning experiences for all of us who still want to grow. That is correct. Hmm. Read.me. The latest news from the gaming world. Ooh, SSI stopped. This is funny because last episode we just realized that SSI was the company that made those gold box D&D games. Well, guess what? They're done. Started with Pull of Radiance in '88. And I probably just wanted too much money. I guess these. If TSR was not just being like, you don't have. SSI doesn't have exclusive license anymore, this is probably what led to the first Baldur's Gate in a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Microprose sold its graphic adventure engine. Ooh, cheats for Doom. At any time in the game, type IDDQD to be instructable, ID SPISPOPD to walk through walls, ID KFA for resupply of ammo, and ID Behold plus A for the entire level map, I plus invisibility, L for amplification, L for radiation suit, S for berserk rage, and V for indestructibility. Cool. Yeah, this is always the more businessy thing. Oh, this is like a pretty big errata. Like saying that Time Warner bought someone instead of just being publishing 3 games by someone. That's different. Intel DX4, the latest chip in the 486 family. I do not know nearly enough about hardware to understand any of this. It's... Oh, and there's 2 numbers. It's clock speed and bus speed. The history of computing hardware, I'm sure, is a fascinating topic to explore. And maybe one day we'll dive a little deeper into it. But I feel like that one requires more research than just like reading through a Wikipedia page entry, you know? If the channel takes off, maybe I might start doing some more research videos of sorts, but what does it say? Trading cards and Broaderburn merged. MCA bought a significant stake in Interplay. Activision went stock. And Acclaim was rumored to buy Sierra, which instead would eventually be bought by Fox Interactive, I want to say? Activision went public. Yeah, this is just straight up business, you know? Oh, sneak preview. Star Trek The Next Generation. Time flies. Can it beat a Star Trek The Next Generation is in its 7th season? Damn. You can see that this is a CD-ROM game, and they really were like, we want the likeness of the actors as much as we possibly can. Oh, speaking of SSI parting way with AD&D, here's a Ravenloft game. And here's an Al-Qadim. This, as somebody who hasn't really... I've watched like the first season of original Star Trek, and I really enjoyed it, but I kind of just left it by the wayside. I'm kind of interested in eventually getting to Next Generation, though I'm in no rush. Good shows will be there forever, you know? But I'm really not familiar with any of it, except I know that Jean-Luc Picard is the name of the character played by, oh god, brain fart, Fall Guy, X-Men, Patrick Stewart. There we go. Some of these names I've heard of Worf, but I don't really know what it means. Game is like a good novel. Here's a plot, but it won't drag you by the leash. You're patrolling the Romulan neural zone. Ooh. Immediately, the Enterprise is placed in a crisis situation involving the Romulans, political refugees, strange artifacts, and the usual variety of alien races. 30 to 100 hours of playtime in the Next Generation universe. That's a lot. I mean, come on, this is a preview, right? So it's not about the actual content of the game. main storyline is about a alien race that disappeared. This looks a lot more complex than those point-and-click adventure games for the first series. Different paths to reach the end game. That's cool. There's a little telltale. The beings whom you meet will remember how you treated them on previous occasion. Worf will remember that. This game looks more like a chess variation of sports. Alright, so, this was actually interesting. I'm gonna add this to the list of games to check out. Maybe eventually, probably never, because the list is just so growing that would already need like 30 hours of content just checking all the games that we've marked. But hey, this is April 1994 list previews/previews. We have Star Trek The Next Generation. Does it have a name? It doesn't really have. Star Trek The Next Generation. Okay. Invasion of the Data Stashers. They're here. CD-ROM drives. They attach themselves like parasites to our computer systems. New machines with internal CD-ROM drives will dominate store shelves as if they were conquering tripodal Martians of H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. Meanwhile, multimedia upgrade kits sit on shelf looking as benign as the plots for invasion of the Body Snatchers. This is definitely a cut for the article. It's funny that we went... Like, physical media had 20 to 30 golden years, and now we're back where I don't have a DVD player. I don't even have a Blu-ray player. People stop using burnable software as a way to transfer data when a USB software is now so conveniently priced and so easy to move around, right? Many really would work hard to be fine floppy disk products and store shelves by the second quarter of 95. I guess these are things that you can now already find. Seventh guest. So this is fun, but the puzzles just lack a little bit of instruction to them, I find. I've never heard of the Adventures of Willie Beamish. Glow in the Dark, he's the granddaddy of any survival horror game, so it has a special place in there. Probably not great to play these days. Conspiracy of Cloakadagger Adventure. Donald Sutherland? Oh, Kiefer Sutherland is Canadian? I had no idea. I don't think I've ever seen anything that Donald Sutherland is in. But it's interesting that they took a mediocre game added some like full motion video segments, and we're like, here's a completely new one. Lunicus. It just looks bad. Cement. Star Trek 25th Anniversary CD. The voices of the original Star Trek cast have been beamed down to the CD-ROM version. That's pretty cool. Other CD things. I think they did talk about It's a Wonderful Life CD something at some point. I remember reading it. Day of the Tentacle, which has fully digitized speech. That's a lovely game that we should definitely play at some point. Imperial Knight, of course, which they reviewed last month. This is hilarious. A program that has guides to 40,000 video titles which capsule summaries, so you can think about which movie you want to watch before you go to the video store. Fate of Atlantis. Full speech. So I don't quite understand the point of this feature. They're literally just listing games that are now available in CD-ROM. Like, okay, why? Like, what's the point? Here, for example, movie and sound pack that I'm sure was in CD-ROM for Star Trek Judgment Rights. I've never known what the putt putt games were. I know that people love them, but I don't even know what kind of games they are. King's Quest 5, King's Quest 6. They're literally just listing them. Blue Mist. Oh, Lunicus, that the ad was for a couple pages ago. No, there was a Richard Scary. Okay, I need to track these down. I will mark these. Busiest and best neighborhood ever. That is actually, I'm actually pretty excited to check those out because I used to love the Richard Scary stuff. I don't even know why I got into it. Like, where sometimes you have core memories about a property, but it's not really connected to any specific thing. Like I vaguely remember maybe some animation of Richard Scary books, and maybe I own some of the actual books. You know, it's one of those things where like, when did society stop living up to your expectations? And then you present the Richard Scary books, and you're just like, ah, yeah, no, I understand. I saw this ad last time too. I don't know what this is. Like, I can't even tell what the title of this. I guess the Horde is the title. Let me Google this one. The Horde game. Action strategy, full motion video with Kurt Cameron and other people. Hack and slash city building and real time strategy? Home. That's a lot. Oh, cool. Secret of Monkey Island, Return to Zork. Ooh, I do want to actually check out the Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. One, two, and three. My friends and I actually played through the board game Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and it's fantastic. And I'm really wondering what it looks like. I think they're probably pretty hard to track down, but I'd be curious to try and figure it out. All right, and we've reached W, and that's the end of the feature, and we were just listing games in CD for some reason. Okay. Here goes the neighborhood. Boom. You can definitely tell that there starts to be a little bit of attitude in each of these ads, right? They're starting to aim a little bit to, the teen boy and look like, ooh, you want attitude? Yeah. Got me here in a minotaur or less with Luminarius Wrath of the Gods. Or Macintosh, specifically. Photorealistic graphic adventure. Some bullshit. Encounters plenty. It's point and click adventure, right? It looks very weak. This dragon looks absolutely terrible. I guess they did film a guy dressed like this. Right, it's clearly filmed actors, but in a background, and maybe that's why it's from Macintosh only, because it's using QuickTime in the same way that Mist did. Let's see. Wrath of the Gods game. Oh, this is the game. It just load and you can play it straight up. Oh, that's actually cool. Well, Well, actually, yeah, I'm interested. Scum VM game. Might look into it. I probably would rather download it if I can find it, but hey, yeah, it's easily available and definitely of interest. And I think is there a Wikipedia page? Yeah, it did come to Windows eventually. There's an educational component about Greek mythology, art, and history. It's funny how we're looking at the Wikipedia page from some of these like early gaming things, and they're just quoting Computer Gaming World that we are reading. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. All right. Well, it's on the list. Elder Scrolls Arena ad. Um, Boob armor. We know what to expect. Jump Raven. Ooh, I look at the screen and it looks busy as hell and not interesting. Oh, and this is the sequel to Lunicus, so it's no surprise that I would not be into this game if I was not into Lunicus. Yeah, I think I'm good on this one. Demon's Gate. Daemon's Gate. What kind of game is this? Oh, okay, it's an RPG. A la Ultima 7. It's on Steam. You can tell that much, and on GOG. Yeah, let's set it on the list. Scorpia. Reviewing Quest for Glory Shadows of Darkness, which is Quest for Glory 4. You actually import a character from the previous Quest for Glory? I thought Quest for Glory was a point and click adventure. Isn't Quest for Glory point and click? Hybrid adventure role playing. Feature which follow directly upon the last. Oh, cameos by recurring characters. I'm down. I'm down. Quest for Glory 4. Dash 4. There is no automatic feature, so desktop does graph paper and Chopper does number 2 pencils. Others are muscle man, skilled in combat and climbing, no special abilities otherwise. Healing classic. Oh, if you import from previous game, you get a paladin. Part of the game is helping out what's left of the inhabitants by uniting two married couples. Icon interface. Turns out you can skip the arcade portions if you want. Impose a little different solution. And depending on the class you are, you can do different things. I'm giving this a bit of a letdown. Oh, interesting. Should you come to my dot mention at all? Ooh. Fortunately, a patch was available and I quickly got it online. Starting to patch games, baby! Oh, interestingly. It's interesting just complaining about all sorts of bugs. Walk around. Alright, yeah. Yeah, definitely interesting. I love the dead. This kind of looks like a wolf 3D. I love the dead game. It's first person shooter. Ooh, one of the worst video games of all time. Well, now I'm intrigued. Quitting the game causes Dunbar to commit suicide by gunshot. I'm actually kind of interested now because it is described as a terrible game. So let's add it to the list. Isle of the Dead. And this really made me want to play through the Quest for Glory from the start. Oh, hey, we got anime boobs. Contains violence and some material inappropriate for minors under 18. Like, the naked woman that's in the picture in the ad. Dragon Knight 3. Like, was this a. Is this a porn game, or is it just that, Japanese anime had a certain vibe to it? I think it's just its Japanese anime vibes to it. Oh no, it's clearly marked as hentai RPG. Mm. In the God of Darkness made an agreement it would set the fate of a world of a duel, blah blah blah. Visiting a girl for a sexual encounter has the same effect as resting in an inn. Crude erotic humor is combined with classic fairy tales. Like the wolf and some dwarves being raping. Because, it's Japan and they have rape issues. Yeah, we're not going to be checking this one out. All the nude girls have the proud parts covered up by hands or clothing of some of the crude crest dialogues as well in the NR13. Yeah, we're gonna give it a pass. We don't need anime. Even if we wanted anime titties, like there's better places for us to find it than in a 1993 hentai RPG. Let's see. Tips for Dark Side of Zine, Ultima the World, Return to Zork, Simon the Sorcerer, Serpentile, Summon Max. Hmm. I still wonder, does she actually just play through these games? Oh, hey, Demonscape. Like Ultima, three-fourths of her head view. Uh-oh. Mm, Demonscape is not great. Good elements, but the designer failed to integrate the good parts into the great whole. The NPC have their own keywords and highlighted text. Lack of an overhead map or auto mapping system is a very conspicuous omission. It is inexcusable that a game running off a CD-ROM drive on my 48633 is lacking such a basic amenity. I'll work on a single character icon. It unfolds in real time as you issue orders. Oh, so there's a bit of technical aspect to it. Graphics are so mundane and so involving that they look like they've come right out of an old Atari 2600 cartridge game. Ooh, the burn. We're now 10 years removed from the crash, so that's like old stuff at this point. Mm. You're an Ultima fan from way back, or if you haven't been keeping up with the latest RPG advances, Human's Gate is as good a choice as many other older games. Still, it is no Arena, no Betrayal at Condor, no Ultima 7, and these are the games it will be sharing shelf space with, and with which it will be compared. I will still leave it on the list, just because I'm curious, but it's definitely gone a little bit down my interest. Red Crystal. This is a funny intro. It's like, stared at. You have to type red cry, which is the first sign, and then the copy protection told me to type in the word board. Mm-hmm. Oof. Difficulty curve too high. Mm-hmm. Counter when swords touch. Like like randomly generated townspeople that kind of have meaningless things to say. People were not about that at the time. All right, I guess it's no good and not going on the list. Your name is Buzz Klondike. Oh, well, I guess is this what Red Crystal looks like? Yeah, I mean, they're complaining about essentially D&D being very squishy early on, and it's like, yeah, I've been there. Apparently, it does have mud in play, but they were not able to review it. There isn't a chat. And then you can't really fight a monster together, you just take turns. Okay. Sub War 2050. No, I look at this is basically flight sim. It's just a flight sim underwater, and I'm immediately like, nope, pass. Rally in the English countryside. Honestly, more interested in that than I would be on this, but still, pass. Is there a follow-up to, like, is the game from Impressions Software called D-Day? Impressions, I really like Impressions Software. Ooh, okay, is it... No, yeah, I think it's these people. Yeah, D-Day, the beginning of the end, 1994. Yeah, because I know them for the Caesar and just the city building Sims. Zeus and Poseidon. Mwah. How I love them. Yeah, so I guess this was a game by them, but I don't know if it's reviewed or not. Alien Breed. Lone combatant to wander high-tech space halls in a space station in search of gleaming long-headed monsters with serious overbite problem. But it has fallen behind in the tech race. Oh, it's interesting. It's a European import. No save game slot, only mission codes. No way to save. I've never quite understood why this method of saving is so popular in European software. But perhaps the conversion to North American markets should include the standard save game options we colonials have come to expect from old computer games. Inherent the Earth. This is a game that I really want to play at some point. I look at it and it sounds interesting to me, right? It's like anthropomorphized animals that are created their own culture that is sort of medieval in style. God, I wish I had the time to play so many games. Flight Sim Toolkit. I am good. Flight Sim. I am good. Yep, no, still good. Flight Sims were really big in 1994, huh? Machine Politics in the 21st Century. Understanding the inner workings of SimCity 2000, Part 1. Let's see. Your citizens are a bunch of pathetic whiners, too lazy even to submit their own zoning requests. Build city your own way in your own time. When you have city cash surpluses each year and you can afford the upkeep on the items your citizens want, then continue their requests. Each and every building generates trips based upon its population. The trip builds them. They're really going into how the code does trips. need mass transit if the traffic is heavy. If you ever build a city with nothing but roads and highways, will notice severe traffic problems clogging the arteries of his or her fair city. So you should start with just roads, then start introducing mass transit. Build a modest railway first, then add buses. Subways only for high value areas. The station for every 2 6x6 blocks should be about right. Build a long, thin strip of land through the middle of a long lake. Build a pump on each land. Oh, I see. Oh, interesting trick. Good tips. I really dig that they're digging into the code and how the Sims in the SimCity work and what makes them go on trips or not. Beneath a still sky. In a city only the Watchman's Dave Gibbons could create. In the future, only virtual theater could make real. In a world only you can't save. It's made by Rebellion, the makers of the Broken Sword series. I can go on the list. Beneath a steel sky. Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, I'm kind of interested in this because I've been dicking around with emulating old PCs and just understanding more about terms. That really helps. Some blaster essentially the same as the ad lib, but it can record and play the resolution digital audio. I'm actually, my eyes are glazing over a little bit, so I'm sure it's very interesting, but we're gonna skip over it. Um, ooh, I can almost read this. Imiwa Dochi Nano Nano Da. I think it's a little bold to have text in full on Japanese. I understand what they're advertising, but it still feels a little bold. It's like, oh, I don't know, making you play for the Nazis in a game. And like, do you really want to do that? Who wants to be the Nazis? Interesting that space Nazis, like the Empire in Star Wars, people are fine with. Actual Nazis, holy sphincter. Oh, this is a page about European games. I understand now. Over there. On the Dark 2. Inca 2. I wonder what game is that? I've never heard of it. Inca game. Space combat simulator and adventure game. Some are pure shooting, some have maze exploration, some inventory based in riddles. Oh yeah, it's a space flight game of sorts. It's hard to find the correct one in the midst of all of these. You know what? I'm intrigued enough. Let's put it in the on the list. Inca and Inca 2. Viracocha. Mm, anything else? No. Kickoff, soccer games. Ooh, Krusty Super Fun House. That already sounds gross. Street Fighter is the biggest arcade game. Character editors, 1995 each for games and handbooks for games. This is terrible. Hollywood Mogul. Treasure Hollywood Studio. Man, remember the movies? Oh, the movies was such a nice game from Lionhead. It's definitely one that we're gonna play once we get to it, one way or another. Manch CD, Wolfpack, Basketball. This is the Commemorate expansion. Star Trek 25th Anniversary, enhanced with CD-ROM. Oh, the game is called Unnecessary Roughness. That's okay. That's yeah. I mean, it's a sports game. This is a dumb picture, but it made me kind of chuckle at the idea that months were expressed in dog months, and that's why it was that games were delayed. It's just stupid, but it's a good idea and concept, you know. This is the Wolfenstein 3D derived game set in space, Blake Stone. Mhm. People complain about the cost of CDs. Howie Mandel again. How's it going, Howie? Talking about a multiplayer version of Sid. What's on Interplay's 10-year anthology? Out of This World, Star Trek. Wasteland. Tales of the Unknown, Dragon Wars. So was Interplay literally only founded 10 years before? Interplay Games. Yeah, it was founded in 83. Bard's Tale 1, 2, and 3. Wasteland, Dragon Wars. Future Wars. Another World. Looks like there should be more Bart's Tale than in there. Oh, I guess this is the Bart's Tale. My bad. But yeah, it's cool that it were just like, hey, now that CDs are out, here are 10 games on one CD. That's kind of cool. Missed. The Prince of Bribes. Merchant Prince. Another QQP game. I wonder what QQP stands for. QQP games. Strategy games and war games. Like Merchant Prince and the Red Crystal. It's like they didn't last very long. Yeah. well-constructed program. Interface is easy to learn. Mechanics are very straightforward. Products availability in city. It's all about trading. Senators can be bright. Oh, you're a Venetian. I see. You don't build your own military force. You just pay mercenaries. Few bugs. Yeah, this would be nice. It's not kind of game that we can really dive into, but it seems like a decent release. Sure. Oh, war games. Yeah, no. We're gonna probably skip most of this. We're on to Province of the Three Kingdoms 3. Oh, little did they know. Little did they know how many times we would romance the Three Kingdoms. Opponents wanted. Oh, it's people looking for, or advertising BBS are looking for BBSs. Oh, fascinating. The marketplace. Advertisers index. Little sneak previews towards the bottom. Elder Scrolls Arena. Ram Castle 3 CD-ROM. Not to do with D. Well, I assume. I assumed it was not, but it might be. The former president. She down. Let's look Mahjong. This is like one of those impossible machine kind of games, NFL 94. Like for quiz show. Solitaire Antics, Hand Involved, Puzzle Mania. Nothing in here particularly of interest. Besides Elder Scrolls Arena, but we know of that game. So here's the Hall of Fame. Top 100 games. This one, Doom. Yeah, fuck yeah, Doom. Upselling software on PC, Flight Simulator, Rebel Assault 7 Guest, Police Quest 4, Judgment Rights. Thing lately, Doom. It's Doom. Doom is good. Oh, and this is them announcing that patches are available. Rumor bag. Them hiding rumors behind these stories, I'm just like, oh. Doom. And that is the end of it. Yeah, pretty good month. We came up with a few games that we want to add to our list. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, Wrath of the Gods was very interesting and easy accessible. As for Glory, just made me kind of want to play through all of them. Dangerous thing. And then the Inca games. The Rich or Scary games were cool. Out of the Dead just because it's considered such a bad game. So, definitely less than we would get on like a 99 or a 2004 issue because I know those games better. But some games I'm definitely like, oh, yeah, this sounds interesting. I should check this out. Okay, this was it for our required reading covering computer gaming world from April 1994. Thank you for watching. You're currently on Retro Games with Nick. Make sure to check out also my main channel, youtube.com/@gameswithnick, where I have archived a bunch of full playthroughs, even of some like older games, like the first Gabriel Knight game, the first two Monkey Island games, maybe just the first one. But a couple of Monkey Island games, a couple of old adventure games are on there. Make sure to check those out. Make sure to check out twitch.tv/gamesandnick, where I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays it's typically a new game. Thursdays it's typically an old retro game. I think we're currently playing Silver. I record these a little ahead of time, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but that's, I think, should be the plan. Silver, the game from 1999, might be a bit of a cult following and a deep cut for some of you, but make sure to check that out. Yeah, so thank you for watching. And this is Nick signing off and telling us to let's keep retro playing together.